So you want to make 2024 the best year of your life. Well, so does everybody else. But did you know that 80% of people fail their New Year's resolutions by the time February comes around, and only 8% of people complete their New Year's resolution throughout the period of the entire year? How many times have you been part of that 80% in the past? I'm guessing more than a few times, right? And you want to know how this year you can truly make it like that year where you can look back and say, I had an incredible year. What a year I had, right? Just want you to close your eyes and picture that, right? 31 December, New Year's Eve. You're looking back, you're like, what a year. What a year. I've completely transformed myself. I've completely transformed my life. Now, you want to know how you can get that feeling, right? Well, I'll say the first thing you can do just to set yourself apart from many different people, from everyone else, is you want to have a plan, right? You want to have the goals, okay? That's not too difficult. I think everyone has goals like, oh, I want to lose weight, but you want to have like a detailed goal, right? You want to have a detailed goal of like, I want to achieve this. Okay, I want to lose this amount of weight, and then I want to put on this amount of muscle by the time October comes along, right? I'll do a cut for 4 months. I'll do a bulk for like 6 months, whatever it is, right? Have a detailed goal. Just having a detailed goal makes the difference, because now you have something to aim at, and you can sort of track, when you're on track versus when you're off track, right? So you want to have a detailed goal, and then with that goal, as I said, goals are very easy to set. You want to have a detailed action plan, right? How am I going to get there, right? So sticking with the fitness, right? It's like, oh, I'm skinny fat, so I'm gonna lose weight, and then I'm gonna put on muscle. If that's you, right? If you're skinny fat and you look at myself, I'm like, damn, I'm really skinny fat. So my plan's gonna be, okay, I'm gonna lose weight, just cut down all the fat. I'm gonna take 2 or 3 months to do that, and then I'm gonna bulk. I'm gonna start doing like a lean bulk for like 6 months, right? Just something like that. You're like, okay, how am I gonna do that? And it's like, okay, I need to start gymming, right? But I'm in the process of losing weight, so I can start going for runs, right? I'll go for runs for the 3-month period. I'll go for runs, and I'll hit the gym twice a week, and I'll go for runs 3 times a week, right? Or whatever it is. You detail it out. I'm going to download my Fitness Pal. I'm going to start tracking these calories. I'm going to learn how to track calories, and I'm going to do that cut. And then after the cut, by 31 March, I'm done with the cut. I should be at this weight. Then I'm going to start. And then for 6 months, I'm going to go on a nice lean bulk, and then I'm going to start hitting the gym a lot more. I'm not going to do as many runs. Maybe I'll do like some cardio just because it's good for you, but I'm going to start gymming. I'm going to start really going hard on like progressive overload, and I'm going to eat, like I'm going to pack on the protein. Am I going to get the protein from like natural sources, or am I going to get like whey? I'm going to get a mixture, whatever it is. You really get into the nitty gritty. You have to have a detailed plan. It increases, I don't have the stats on me, but it increases the chance of your success, I don't know, 3-fold, right? Like it's massive how much of a difference it makes having a detailed action plan versus not having one at all, right? I want to lose weight. This year I want to lose weight, right? You have that person versus, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to lose 10 pounds in like 2 months or like a month. And then afterwards I want to gain muscle. I want to gain like however much muscle I can gain. I want to gain like 20 pounds of muscle over like 6 months or whatever it is. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to track my calories. I'm going to go for runs in January and February. Then when I start gymming, I'm going to go to the gym or whatever. Who do you think is going to be more successful there, right? Very clearly the second person, who's got a detailed goal and a detailed action plan, right? So that's the first thing you can do just to set yourself apart. Really think about it. But the second one, the most important one that I've learned, right? Like I've done self-improvement for a long period of time, and I've been consistent for like a year or two, and then I've like fallen off, and I've gotten back on, and I've like done that. But this time, like I've spent really like the last 2 years, because I've been like burnt out. Spent the last 2 years, like especially with like studying and stuff, I spent the last 2 years just trying to find, what is it that can really make me finally be consistent, right? Be consistent enough over a couple of years to like have that serious impact on my life. And I found it in Psycho-Cybernetics. It's a book by Dr. Maltz or Dr. Maxwell, whatever it is. Just search it up, Psycho-Cybernetics, right? And I've always known the most important thing is having an identity shift, right? And I learned, if you have an identity shift, it just trickles down into everything you do. If you see yourself as a certain person, everything else just falls into place, right? But the difficulty was implementing that, right? Like you see people say, oh, change your identity, see yourself as the type of person who gyms, see yourself as the type of person who works hard at this and whatever. But it's always like, it doesn't work, right? It doesn't seem to work. And I've always wanted like a practical way to do it. And like I said, go read Psycho-Cybernetics. The way I got through Psycho-Cybernetics is the way I do with like books in general that I want to get through is I'll go into YouTube, I'll search the audiobook, and I'll put on 2x speed, and then I'll listen. When I hear something proper, I'll go into my notes app and I'll write down the notes, right? And that's the way you should be reading books in general, right? You want to read books or you listen on audiobooks or whatever it is, you write down the notes that are very important. And I learned this from Alex Hormozy, by the way. He was just saying that books have a lot of fluff, right? So you write down the notes, and then you never like read that book again, right? And then when you need it, you come back to it. You come back and you read the notes and you see what's in there. So Psycho-Cybernetics, flipping this into the audiobook, I'm telling you, he said it in the book that it's the only self-improvement book you'll ever need, and I truly believe that, right? Psycho-Cybernetics tells you everything about behavioral change. And something you can pair with Psycho-Cybernetics is Dr. Joe Dispenza. He had a podcast episode on Diary of the CEO, right? And he's like I don't know exactly what he is. I think he's a psychologist or whatever it is. But in that podcast, they spoke a lot about behavioral psychology, right? So like what actually makes people change their behavior. And those two, Psycho-Cybernetics and that podcast, they were very like in conjunction with each other. The things they were saying, right? And you need to see yourself as the person who does that now. How do you implement that? Right, the first actionable thing I found in Psycho-Cybernetics, if there's one thing you can take away from this whole video, if you want to make 2024 the best year of your life, visualizations, right? Proper visualizations, right? What do you hear from all like the top athletes, right? It's always like, oh, I visualize myself, scoring like a hat trick or whatever it was. Like I visualize myself doing the action very, very vividly, and I've done that over so long of a period of time. I pictured myself when I was young. I pictured myself, playing for this club, right, or whatever it was, and it comes into fruition. Not because it's like some manifestation BS. It's none of that crap, right? Like you're not manifesting something out of thin air. That's crap, right? But it's about changing who you believe you are, and once that happens, your actions align with that, right? So, going back to the one thing you can take away from this video, you want to do visualizations, and what he said is you do like 30 minutes of a visualization, right? Before you go to bed, whatever time, honestly, you do 30 minutes of visualization, and you visualize what the type of person you want to be would be doing, right? So for me, I do it at night, the day before. I do it at night every night, right? And then I picture myself the next day. What am I going to be doing? Okay, I'll wake up, the alarm will go off, and what he said is it needs to be very, very vivid. Very vivid, because the brain cannot tell the difference between a real life experience versus an imagined experience, right? So you want to take advantage of that. You really, really want to take advantage of that. And something that people don't realize is like when you're scared or you're worried about something, say you've studied and you're worried you're gonna fail, right? And you're picturing and you picture yourself failing, right? You picture yourself failing and your heart rate goes up, right? Why does your heart rate go up, right? Because your brain is feeling those feelings that you would be feeling if you failed. And to your brain, that's no different than having failed. And then what happens is that your actions start aligning with that, right? You start believing. And there are things like, oh, it's not just, oh, I failed. It's, I'm a failure. And now all of a sudden, your actions align with that and you start sabotaging yourself. That's what's up with behavioral psychology, sorry. But yeah, so you want to do the visualizations. You really want to be vivid with them, really vivid. And another way I can tell you how the brain can't tell the difference between real experiences and imagined experiences, other than the fact that all the psychologists and everything, they know this, like they've done studies on all of this. If you don't want to believe me, you can believe them, right? But think about if you're say you like watch, okay, you say people that watch porn, right? When you see something, when you see like a very provocative like video, or even you're just imagining it, right? If you're imagining like having sex, right? What happens down there, right? You instantly start getting erect, but you're not actually doing it. It's not happening in real life, but your brain doesn't know that, right? That's a good example I can give, right? But going back to the visualizations, right? You really want them to be vivid, and what he said is they must be for 30 minutes, 21 days before you really start seeing like serious progress. So what you want to do is you're creating a mental movie, right? Imagine yourself sitting in a theater watching a movie of yourself tomorrow. You're your ideal self, and you're doing everything that your ideal self would do, right? That you want to do. right? You've created a mental movie, but you're gonna be like curating it. Like you're gonna think about it and you're gonna say this and you're like, oh no, actually I wouldn't want to do that, and then you go back and you do it. And what he said is like for the first 10 days you're gonna be curating the movie, and then for the last like 11 days you're gonna be actually just replaying the movie because now it's perfected. Honestly, he said after like 21 days, that's when you should really start feeling it. For me, after like 21 days, I'm just carrying on because I don't want it to I just want to keep doing it until I feel like, yeah, I'm full steam ahead, I don't need it anymore. So I'd advise you do it over a long period of time, but 21 days, 30-minute visualizations every single day, right? And going back to the visualizations, they can't just be like, oh, I wake up, I do this, I do that. They need to be vivid, right? They need to be vivid. You need to say, okay, the alarm goes off at this time. How am I feeling? I'm feeling like this, right? It's cold, or maybe it's not cold, maybe it's warm. My eyes are shutting closed. They shut and close because I'm so tired. The alarm sounds like this, and I turn over and I turn it off, and it's like, what would the ideal self of me do? He would just get up. Like, what would I tell myself? And this was another thing that I learned in the Joe Dispenza episode, where he was saying that a lot of things is like imagining what you would do when you're in that situation. Like again, your brain is so malleable, right? And if you take advantage of the fact that it can't tell the difference between real life experiences and imagined experiences, that's all behavioral psychology is, right? Picture yourself, oh, I'm not supposed to be eating a cookie or whatever, right? I want you to picture yourself. That's the one thing people don't do. They don't picture themselves what it would look like when they're failing and what they would do to not fail, right? So when they're tempted, sorry. So I want you to picture yourself, oh, I usually get cravings at this time, right? Let's say it's like 2 p.m. Like it's been quite a long day, and the cravings come. Picture yourself in that moment, right? I'm walking in the kitchen, and I'm getting this feeling to open the fridge or whatever, and picture what your ideal self would do in that situation. What would your ideal self say to himself? It'd be like, oh, I'm an athlete. I don't eat like this, or oh no, cookies are bad for my skin, right? They're gonna make me get pimples and everything. They're bad for my brain. I'm not going to be able to focus on work. Whatever it is, what would he tell himself? I don't eat cookies, right? Whatever it is, that's what it is. You tell yourself that, and then yeah, you picture yourself. Just do that for everything, right? Picture yourself in moments when you'd be tempted, and picture what you tell yourself, right? So going back to the mental movie, it has to be vivid. It has to be really vivid. I explained the waking up sequence. It's not just, oh, I wake up, right? It's because once you do that, you picture yourself waking up, and then tomorrow when you wake up, it's a whole different experience, right? You're really tired and you didn't factor that in. Again, you picture yourself, what would your ideal self do in that situation? You just be like, oh, I need to wake up because I need to do this, right? Or I'm the type of person that does this, whatever it is. Picture what you would tell yourself in that moment, right? So, vivid. I wake up, I'm feeling tired, it's cold, the pillow is like this, the bed feels like this, the alarm is sounding like this. I'm going to turn over, I'm going to turn it off, I'm going to tell myself this, then I'm going to jump straight out of bed. Then I'm going to walk, I'm going to turn on the lights, it's going to be really bright. My eyes, I'm going to shut them a little bit because it's so bright. I'm going to walk, I'm going to change, and then I'm going to go to the bathroom, I'm going to brush my teeth, right? I'm going to turn on the light, I'm going to brush my teeth, and it's going to sound like this and whatever. And you really need to be vivid. I'm going to go to my workout. When I'm working out, I'm going to be feeling like this, right? It's going to be cold. My chest is going to be sore as I'm doing the push-ups, but I'm going to keep pushing because I'm the type of person that really maximizes the workout like that. It needs to be vivid. It's going to smell like this. I'm going to be working out on the workout mat. The workout mat smells like this. Or when I walk into the bathroom smells like this. Whatever it is, it needs to be very vivid. The more vivid it is, the more your brain cannot tell the difference. And you do that over 21 days. Sorted. You'll be sorted. Your self-image, your image will actually change itself, and you actually start acting like the type of person that does that. And the biggest motivation I ever got for this is that I was watching a Hamza video, and he was speaking about how when you're starting the good habits, it feels like you're swimming upstream, right? Like the stream is coming at you, and you're working hard just to stay in place. And what do you picture when you see someone that's swimming upstream? They're gonna get tired, and eventually they're just gonna get washed back down. Right, that's what happens, and that's what happens with habits in general, right? And in psycho-cybernetics, he called it the snapback effect, right? The snapback effect. And the moment he said it, I was like, yes, that's me to a T, right? You start the good habits, right? You're feeling pumped up, whatever it is, and you go for a couple of days, and eventually, the next day you wake up and you're like, I don't really feel like waking. I'm just gonna sleep, and then it's just a slippery slope. When you're back to ground zero, right? That's the snapback effect. Right, and the reason of the snapback effect, which is, again, as I'm saying with this book is so S tier. Probably the best book. And as he said, it's the only self-improvement book you'll ever need, right? Your brain, right? Your brain doesn't work the way you think it does, right? You think, oh, subconscious brain, right? When I wake up, not subconscious, sorry, your prefrontal cortex, right? The thinking brain. You think that like, oh, when I wake up, I'm going to be logical, right? I need to work out because it's good for me, right? I need to wake up early so I have more time to do like deep work, because deep work is the most important. I need to do deep work because it's going to make me successful in life, and I'm going to actually start living the life I want to live. I'm going to stop watching YouTube videos early in the morning or whatever it is, because it's a waste of my time, right? You think like with the logical brain, you think like, oh, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to think logically. But the prefrontal cortex, it only takes account for 5% of your actual decisions, right? 95% of your life and everything you do is subconscious. It's emotional. And when you realize this, you quickly see that like, yeah, okay, this is facts, right? Because you're like, oh, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning early because I need to work out, because it's good for me. I'm gonna look better and I'm gonna feel better. I'm gonna have better self-esteem. But then when you wake up or the alarm goes off, you're so tired. You're like, nah, I just want to sleep. That's your subconscious brain, right? That is your subconscious brain. And it takes me to another point that I thought about. Well, I heard like Jordan Peterson when we were speaking about like, I think he might have been speaking about something like this, but it was mainly to do with the hypothalamus. And the hypothalamus is basically the part of your brain that is the reason you survive, right? It's the one that gives you all those cravings, right? So you can eat, because you need to eat to survive. It's the one that, oh, if there's like a lion or whatever, instantly fight or flight, right? But probably flight, like your instant reaction is to run. Heart rate goes up, you're feeling stressed. Like, I need to do something, I can't just stand here, right? That's your hypothalamus. It keeps you alive, right? It keeps you alive. It makes you feel thirsty, makes you feel hungry, and all of that. And what he said is that with people who are trying to diet or whatever it is, you cannot fight against your hypothalamus. You will lose every single time, because it has evolved over 10,000 years to keep you and your species alive. It's gotten us across all these 10,000 years, right? You will not fight it. You will not fight it. It has evolved to overcome your desires, right? It has evolved. It's like, oh, because if you're walking down, like, just imagine a field, you're walking around the field and you saw something interesting that you wanted to see, right? And you were hungry, you needed to eat, right? And you're like, nah, but I just want to go check that out. Your brain would be like, nah, no, bro, like, go flipping find food to eat, otherwise you're gonna die, right? So that thing is very strong. And what he said, right, was that you cannot fight your hypothalamus, because if you fight your you lose every single time. Like I said, it's very, very, very strong, right? So the way you work with it, like people who diet, people who actually lose weight, is that they get it to work for them. And again, it's through the psychocybernetics where you change your image, right? I'm the type of person that does this, or I'm the type of person that eats at this time. You really wanna work with it. You're not working against it. It's not telling you, I want to eat this, and you're like, no, I'm starving you, right? You need to work with it. Think about people that are actually successful at like losing weight, right? It's not the people that starve themselves and then it's like binge starve cycle over again. Like if you've ever like struggled with binge eating, that's the hypothalamus textbook. That is the textbook hypothalamus. You're like, oh, I need to stop eating this much because I need to lose weight, and you're starving yourself. And then at the end of the day, you just raid the kitchen cabinet, and then afterwards you're stuffed and you feel so bad, because you're like, what the hell am I doing all of this for? And it happens over and over again. That's you fighting with your hypothalamus, and you losing every single time, right? So the way that people actually lose weight is that they find a way to work with the hypothalamus. It's like, oh, I'm gonna find a way to like eat like filling meals, but that are like lower in calories. Like, I'm gonna start eating like more rice and chicken. I'm gonna stop eating like all the crap or whatever. People that are able to do that, they're able to actually lose weight more consistently, and they work out and whatever. They get it to work with them, right? They calm the hypothalamus down. They're like, calm down, bro, calm down. Okay, we'll be fine. Here's food. We'll eat food to sustain ourselves, right? So you don't have to like make me raid the kitchen cabinet. And that's what it does. It makes you do it. You're not fighting against the hypothalamus. But going back to what I was speaking about, the subconscious brain in general, the snapback effect, you will always reset to who you think, who you truly believe you are, right? Because you can tell yourself, I want to do this, I want to start being like this, right? But if your subconscious brain believes, oh no, I'm the type of person that watches YouTube videos because they're addictive, I love watching those in the moment, I love eating crap, I love whatever it is, right? Your brain will cause you to do that. It will not give you the materials you need to go like work hard. Whereas someone who believes that, they're like a hard worker, they eat clean, whatever it is, they wake up in the morning and they're like picture an athlete, picture like Cristiano Ronaldo, right? When he wakes up in the morning, it's like, oh, I need to go work out, right? that's what he wants to do, and his subconscious brain does not fight him. In fact, it makes him get up, right? If he doesn't, his subconscious brain is it's like, what the hell, right? It's like, what the hell's going on here? Because it believes like, I'm the type of person, I'm Cristiano Ronaldo, right? I wake up, I work out, I'm a top level athlete, I do this and that, right? Subconscious brain, similar with the hypothalamus, you want to get it to work with you. And how you get it to work with you is you reprogram it, because it's kind of like software, right? Although humans aren't machines, and this is all from psychocybernetics, by the way. It's like software, right? Like I said, the imagined experiences versus the real experiences, the fact that your brain can't tell the difference about that, it's such a hack, it's such a cheat code, right? You use that to reprogram your brain, right? Your brain, like I said, it's like software. Your current software is, I don't do the good habits, right? I'm not the type of person that does that. I'm like an average person. I do this and that, right? You want to reprogram it to say, I'm the type of person that does all these good habits, right? I'm the type of person who's like this. And you can even take it further to be like, oh, I'm the type of person, like, people think like, oh, I can never, like, they want to like make like tons of money from like whatever it is they're doing, like an online business or whatever, but they don't really believe they can do it. They see someone like Iman or whatever it is, and they're like, oh damn, must be nice, right? Their subconscious brain does not believe that, so they'll never do it until they change that belief, right? So you want to like start doing like visualizations, and you start picturing yourself being like, oh, I'm the type of person that makes like 50. Picture yourself looking at your phone, at your PayPal or your bank account, and you know there's like tons of money in there that you've made from your business. Picture yourself living the lifestyle, right? Even like, this goes everywhere, guys. This stretches everywhere, even to like getting a girlfriend, bro. You get someone who struggles to speak with girls. It's like, picture yourself being like someone that speaks to them easily, they like you, whatever it is, things like that. All of that, right? You need to reprogram your subconscious brain. And how you reprogram your subconscious brain is through visualizations. That's how you do it. So you've got to do that. So I would say, go listen to the psychocybernetics audiobook, right? And go watch Dr. Joe Dispenza's his podcast episode on Diary of the CEO, right? Go watch those two. But honestly, just do your visualizations. Do your 30-minute visualizations every single day for 21 days. Do not miss them. Do not miss them. Right? Find a time that you do them, and you do them. Just keep doing them. Reprogram your subconscious brain. Trust me. And now, I actually didn't finish my analogy with the swimming upstream thing or whatever, right? Now, instead of feeling like you're swimming upstream, now it's going to feel like you're swimming downstream, because your subconscious brain is working with you. And the subconscious brain, you've tried to fight it, you know how powerful it is. So when it's working with you, you're going to hit all your goals. You will hit them. And again, this isn't some manifestation BS. It's not. It's like you actually changing your actions. It's recalibrating your brain, your subconscious brain, to make you change your actions. Start acting in accordance with who you believe you are, because your brain will always act in accordance with who you truly believe you are, right? And another thing that, like I said, go listen to the audiobook. But honestly, another thing I found was, you were saying that like, don't let negative thoughts go like unpunished, right? Go unchallenged, sorry, right? So it's like, oh, I failed to wake up today. It's like, oh man, I'm never gonna wake up early. I'm never gonna change my life. Like, don't let that thought just slip by, because that's going into your subconscious brain. That's reprogramming your brain, reinforcing it to believe you're never gonna achieve, right? Be like, no, I'm not. I just had a bad day, but I'm the type of person who wakes up, whatever. Don't let negative thoughts go unchallenged, or unchallenged. But again, if you're gonna take one thing away from this video, do your flipping visualizations. Vivid. Take them very seriously. Very, very seriously. Make sure they're vivid. Like all your senses. Touch, smell, sight, whatever. I forgot the other ones. Taste, whatever it is, right? Like, picture yourself like, oh, I'm eating like rice, chicken, and broccoli or whatever. And picture yourself eating it and enjoying it. Picture yourself being like, I enjoy eating healthy food. Things like that. You can literally reprogramming your brain. Just do it. Trust me, you're gonna change your life. Make sure you subscribe to join the Self Improvement Brotherhood. And until next time, see you boys.